Hey Facebook friends, Marianne here. I just wanted to share this beautiful place with all of you. It's probably one of my favorite two hotels in the world. It's called Hotel Bel Air. And what a lot of people don't know is how it has such a beautiful garden down here below. And further up the way they have swans. But just wanted to share this gorgeous little space here. Not gorgeous? Anyway. This place is also very meaningful to me because this is where my parents began their honeymoon. They did a trip around the world and it all began here. But anyway, thank you all who continue to send me memories and things about my mom. I'm doing good. You know, it's the pain is there and it comes every now and then there are whole moments where I'm focused on something else and then it comes back. And that's just the norm. I remember going through that with my dad. But as some of you know, I had to get away from Dallas for a little bit of time and couldn't go up to Snowmass Aspen because I literally have their clothes and other things up there that just too much memories of my parents. But here, you know, it's just the beginning of their romance. And I've never been here with them that I recall. So it's a good way to kind of tip my hat to my parents and at the same time, you know, since I don't have direct memories with them, it's a good way to feel them without, you know, having that extreme painful reminder like it would be in some other places. But all I can say is I think my parents are working overtime up in heaven because the synchronicities that have been lining up to help what we do with the Mimosine Institute, to help what we're trying to build with UTF Holdings and, you know, the Eco Green Energy and all these amazing collaborations that are beginning to be really anchored and forged. I'm excited on how they're going to be able to help us address the hungry in our country and other places, the civil rights, even in one case, hopefully helping to do some things to prevent war. And then, of course, increasing more opportunities for people in other communities worldwide. And all I can say, it's an honor, real honor to be here with people like Kalu and Isabel and Chase and Reverend Peter Johnson, and with all the people we've been able to meet, with Aaron Berger, with Ben Brofman, and so many others. So to all of you who have been part of our meetings here, just a big shout out of thanks. Love you all and deeply appreciate what you're doing in the world and can't wait to see how we combine. And you know, this place for me represents potential. You know, it feels so verdant, like there's so much possibility. And I can't help but think that that's the way my dad was thinking and feeling when he brought my mom here. Because, you know, at the time, 7-Eleven hadn't grown as big as it could be. And he was on the verge of really taking it there. And yet had accomplished a lot of things to be proud of. But it was the beginning of a new era in his life. And, you know, he shared a lot of his dreams and his hopes and aspirations with my mom at this hotel. At the, like I said, literally the very beginning of their honeymoon was at this hotel. And I can't help but think, because my mom was in her 40s, my dad was in his 50s, and I am now 46. So to be here around their same age and to be at a moment in life where things have been planted and worked on so long with the hope of impacting all the communities that we work with, you know, international chapters, Israel, Palestine, Japan, which Reverend Yano wants to turn into Mimosine Asia to broaden its reach. But launching the new chapter in the UK, the chapter that we already have in Mexico growing, and the 2 campuses we have down there, the land that has been donated behind City Hall in Dallas, and seeing how we're taking Food Source, which has already saved $55 million worth of food in the United States, and expanding that into Europe. Of course, it's already been doing amazing work throughout the Gulf of Mexico and other places, and you know, getting to thank you Carolyn Makaka and Viola, thank you for involving me in the book. So looking forward to being in the Philippines and following up with that later this year, and all the exciting things working with you, Emmanuel Jal, with the Sudanese refugees, and you know, Tanya, I am so excited about what we're doing with solar, and didn't realize we would be the only boobs in the room and people bringing in energy people. But glad we're inadvertently breaking glass ceiling. Truly, people. Tanya and I got in it because we thought it was a great way to help the environment and make money. Didn't realize we'd be breaking some glass ceilings in the process, but happy to do that. But, so many awesome things that are in process, and so many things that have already been planted that are being built on that need support to go even further. And the potential of the Toltec Cultural Center, and what they have been doing, and the potential of the Mayan Cultural Center, what they've been doing. I mean, my God. Angel Salub, here's to you for all you've been able to achieve, and UNESCO once again recognizing you, and this time bringing you to the Netherlands. Wow. Maya in the Netherlands. But also, connecting, finding out everything that's going on with the Tolteca and the potential to build a museum there and really significantly increase what they're doing. And then what we're already doing with Scott Box and stuff and growing it. I'm in awe. I'm in awe of the team, and I'm in awe of how Spirit is working through this team. And I'm super excited about the future and where things are headed. So to everybody out there, including all the Mimosine team that is still in Dallas, Philip, you are manning the ship and doing such an incredible job. And Wendell, everything that you're doing, can't wait to expand on it. Bill Shireman, super excited. Van Jones, wow, amazing meetings. So I know this is just the beginning, and in a few years, if I'm standing here, I'm going to be looking out and seeing this was a moment when so much dramatically changed. And it's bittersweet. Some of you saw that Forbes article, and it came out like 2 days after my mom died. And it's painful to have these accomplishments, not have my parents here, because I've shared with many people being adopted and brought into this surreal situation of being empowered to make a kind of difference, something I can't ever take for granted. But they took a chance on this little brown baby and made her into me. So, being here and thinking about what my parents thought about and how they were changing the world in their own ways, and being here with Reverend Peter Johnson, who at this time in his life, in my dad's 50s, he'd already been working with Peter on desegregation and stuff. And to be here with Peter, someone my dad worked with. All of it is so surreal. And all I can say is I feel like God is walking with me. And I feel tremendously, tremendously blessed to be on this journey, to be healthy and able and empowered by it. And, Reverend Neil Thomas, super excited for what we're going to do in honor of my mom. And, of course, Felix Meneses and Chase Robertson, thank you for all the guidance and help you've been helping me with on this journey. And, of course, my husband, Joshua Frank. He's the one who's there when I randomly cry. It's not easy being with a mourning spouse. So it takes a lot of patience for him. And he has it in spades in helping me with this, and just like he did for my dad. But I want to thank all of you that are sticking by me and building many, many things that we are so excited about that are going to help this world and magnify the impact of the Mimosine Institute, and magnify the impact of UTAP Holdings, and magnify what we're doing with Eco Green Energy. A lot of people don't realize that in order to make sure a loaf of bread costs low, we got to have a strong monarch population to be pollinating America's breadbasket. A lot of people don't realize that. But we're going to be putting things that feed the monarchs on every solar farm so that we can help that. So the more we have that kind of thing with milkweed and whatnot, with all the places where they come through, the healthier their population is, and that helps reduce the costs of bread. There's so many connections that for-profits can do to collaborate with activism and with nonprofits. And it takes everybody being able to do that intentionally and plan it intentionally and take the personal responsibility for making that kind of positive impact in this world. And I'm just grateful for everybody who's taking that responsibility seriously and letting you all know that I am honored to get to work with you. So thanks to everybody that's been walking with us. Also a big shout out to Yolanda Bluehorse. It was an honor and a privilege to get to do some amazing collaborative work with you and the Mimosine Institute. And I will say what I said the first time I met you. You have a beautiful voice. a beautiful stance. Your heart is pure, you are intelligent, and you are going places, and you will serve the people wherever you're at. And I honor you for the leader that you are and the leader you're becoming, and I honor you for everything that you are doing. So here's to you, girl. We are going to miss you in Texas, but I know that you're going to continue to shine up in the Colorado Rockies, and we wish you every piece of luck. To the Native American communities that we serve in Texas, around the United States, and in Latin America, especially at Toltec and Maya, I want you to know that this does not in any way keep us from being 100% committed to everything that we've begun before Yolanda came and what was begun during her time here. Of course, the horse camp is still going to happen. She is still overseeing that and making it happen before she goes to Colorado. And of course, we're going to continue supporting all of our outreach to the indigenous communities across the Americas, if not growing it. So we will be on the lookout for the right person to replace the position that Coke Buchanan began a long time ago and that Yolanda built upon. In the meantime, it will be Isabel and myself that take on that mantle until we find the right person. But we will be looking for someone, ideally, someone who is Native American and who's also bilingual with Spanish. So if you are someone like that, don't be afraid to toss your hat in the ring, because, you know, we're about trying to make impact that helps people deal with the challenges of globalization in as responsible and, yeah, as exciting and fun a manner as possible. You know, and that has helped us negotiate the first treaty in 300 years between Hopi and Navajo. That's helped us bring more people with the Liberian Truth and Reconciliation Commission forward than ever before. That is what has allowed us to set up the cultural centers and helped us get, you know, all the mass to K-95 mass to different reservations. You know, it's been a privilege to work with so many Native American communities, and those are just a tiny handful of the things we've done with them, and we will continue to do it. And in many cases, it's the active intent to make sure that we bring up a chair to other topics that people aren't aware of, and say, hey, we want to make sure that the Native American voice, the indigenous voice of the Americas, is heard here. And we do the same in any country we're in. We make sure that indigenous people or any continent that we're on have a voice, from the Maori to the Shinto to all the different places around the world. So anyway, on that note, letting you all know that Emmanuel Jal and I continue to be committed to helping the refugees escape the war zone in Sudan and get them into safety in South Sudan. And we are working very much with Baroness Verma and others to try and bring some solutions to that. And it will be a hybrid thing, which is a for-profit that we'll be doing with UTF Holdings, Gluten Gormo, as well as with our nonprofits, Law Africa, and UTF Holdings, and of course our nonprofit, the Mimsy Institute. So that is going to be growing substantially. And we've now, after meeting with Aaron Berger out here, who's actually up there at the UN, he gave me some information, and we realized the importance of growing Africa's breadbasket is much, much more important than we even realized. So everyone, just using more tools to help this world, and excited about anyone that wants to jump in and either invest, donate, or time or money. We need to be able to galvanize and do so much to help so many people to raise up and be empowered to build their lives forward. So it's not just about a handout. So how do we help transform lives and help people become the leaders that they were meant to be? So lots of love to all of you. Thank you so much if you've listened to this whole thing. And to all my close friends, thank you for your prayers and your handwritten letters and everything else. I'm doing okay. You know, the thing that I do to help me in my morning, aside, as you saw, I got teary-eyed a moment ago, is to do the work that God put me in this position to do. Because it's because of my wonderful parents that I was adopted and put in this position, and to do any less, it's not honoring them, and it's not honoring the spirit that gave me these opportunities. So love to all, and we'll be back in Dallas soon. But in the meantime, all the humanitarian work is still moving forward. And if you are someone who's being served by our community, but I haven't been able to physically visit you in a bit, please know, especially the Toltec and the Maya, please know that you are never never far from my thoughts and heart. I am 100% committed. You know, things are going to be challenging as I try and figure things out with my mom's estate, but any way that I can be of help and continue to support, I am there. It's just a bit overwhelming right now as I'm navigating these waters with all the things that are required. But that doesn't mean that I'm not focused and committed, and will continue to be. So thanks to everybody, and for those that keep bugging me about trying to buy my mom's property, we're not going to be selling it until next year, and Jackie Wynn is the person that will be doing everything through. So you can kind of stop sending me a zillion different things, send them to Jackie. Okay. All right. Lots of love to everyone, and talk to you soon.